Right now, the giant engine keeping our planet alive is slowly grinding to a halt. If it stops completely, 90% of the world's population becomes refugees overnight, and the first country to freeze isn't even near the Arctic. But what scientists just discovered at the bottom of the Atlantic is much worse. By the end of this, you'll know exactly which cities become death traps first. We are talking about the AMOC, the ocean's conveyor belt, and it is failing. Most people think global warming only means heat, but for millions, it actually means a permanent, lethal winter. The ocean moves because of a delicate balance between salt and cold water, but melting glaciers are dumping massive amounts of fresh water into the sea. This dilutes the salt and kills the engine. Imagine a car running out of oil while driving at 90 miles per hour. The Atlantic current acts like a massive radiator for Europe and North America. It carries heat from the tropics up to the north. Without it, London becomes as cold as Siberia in just a few years. But wait, it gets much weirder than just cold weather. Here is the part that sounds made up, but it isn't. While the north freezes, the equator starts to boil because the heat has nowhere to go. This temperature gap creates superstorms larger than entire continents. These storms don't just rain, they level everything in their path. The ocean also needs to breathe, just like you do. Moving currents carry oxygen from the surface down to the deep sea. When the water stops moving, the oxygen runs out. Every fish you've ever seen would suffocate in a massive, global dead zone. Scientists used to think this would take centuries to happen. New data shows the tipping point could be as early as 2025. We are essentially playing Russian roulette with the planet's thermostat, and the first bullet is already in the chamber. When the current stops, the sea level doesn't just rise, it piles up. In places like New York and Boston, the water could rise by 3 feet instantly. This isn't a slow flood, it is a permanent, watery wall that never goes away. Europe would lose its ability to grow food almost immediately. Wheat and corn crops would fail across the entire continent. You can't farm in a permafrost wasteland that used to be a garden. This leads to a terrifying realization about our grocery stores. Global food prices would skyrocket by 500% in a single month. Money becomes worthless when there is simply nothing left to buy. People will realize that gold can't be eaten, but by then, it's too late. The real chaos starts in the cities. Here's the part that makes everything worse. Stagnant water begins to rot. Without circulation, the ocean starts producing a gas called hydrogen sulfide. It smells like rotten eggs, and in high concentrations, it is instantly fatal. The ocean literally turns into a poison gas factory. The last time the ocean stopped moving, it caused the Great Dying. 96% of all marine species vanished forever. We are currently recreating the exact conditions of the world's worst mass extinction, but we are doing it much faster than nature ever did. What I haven't told you yet is the part that makes everything worse. There's one detail nobody mentions, and it's the most important one. It involves the air you are breathing right now. Our atmosphere and ocean are twin sisters who share everything. The ocean absorbs 90% of the excess heat we produce. If the current stops, the ocean stops eating that heat. The atmosphere would warm up at a speed that would melt the tires on your car. We would be trapped between a frozen north and a melting sky. Billions of people would have to move toward the narrow Goldilocks zone. These are the few places on Earth that remain habitable, but imagine 8 billion people trying to fit into a space the size of Australia. This is where civilization simply breaks. Governments would likely collapse under the weight of the migration. No border can stop a billion hungry people. History shows that when resources vanish, conflict is the only thing that grows, but there is a secret weapon we haven't used yet. Some scientists suggest geoengineering the ocean to restart the heart. They want to dump millions of tons of salt back into the North Atlantic. It sounds crazy because it is. We are talking about trying to jumpstart a planet with a literal salt shaker. Another plan involves massive underwater fans to keep the water moving. The energy required would be more than the entire world produces today. We are trying to fix a broken sun with a flashlight, but maybe the solution isn't in the water. The real solution is stopping the freshwater melt at the source. If we can stabilize the Greenland ice sheet, the current might stay alive. It's like stopping a wound from bleeding before the heart stops beating. We are currently in the emergency room. We have the technology to monitor these currents in real time now. For the first time in history, we can actually see the disaster coming. Knowledge is the only reason we aren't already extinct, but knowing isn't the same as acting. If we reduce emissions today, the current has a 90% chance of recovering. It is the cheapest insurance policy in human history. Every ton of carbon we don't emit is a gallon of cold water kept in the ice. It's a simple math problem with human lives. Adaptation is also key to our survival. We need to move our food systems indoors. Using vertical farming and hydroculture, we can no longer rely on the sky to give us rain. We have to become the masters of our own weather. Cities are already building seawalls, but they are preparing for the wrong thing. They are preparing for rising water, not a dying ocean. We need to rethink how we build, where we live, and what we value. The ocean is sending us a bill. Global cooperation is the only way to restart the engine. No single country can fix the Atlantic Ocean alone. It requires a level of unity humanity has never shown before. It's a test to see if we deserve to stay here. The good news is that the current is still moving, for now. We haven't hit the point of no return yet. There is still time to keep the radiator running and the air breathable, but the clock is ticking louder every single day. Survival isn't about luck, it's about making the right choices before the lights go out. We are the first generation to understand the ocean's secret, and we might be the last one with the power to save it. The choice is literally in our hands. The ocean is the heart of the world. If it stops, we stop. But as long as it's beating, there is a chance to fix the mess we made. We just need to start listening to the pulse before it's gone. If you want to know how to survive the next global shift, follow for more. The world is changing faster than you think. Don't be the one left out in the cold when the current finally stops. See you in the next one.